Hey everyone, thank you for joining me, Michelle, here at Makiki 1988. I am so excited to share another empties video with you. When I was checking my bag progress the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, like how do I already have so many empty items? I kind of panicked for a minute, thinking I must have been like really wasteful over the last few months. And then I remembered, oh no, we haven't been buying multiples and tons of products. We've been using stuff up before we buy a replacement. So I have a bag full of goodies, and I'm gonna do the same thing in this video as I did in the last one. I'm gonna go through each item, tell you whether or not I liked it, what I did or didn't like about it, and give it a rating out of 10. And hopefully this information helps you in your own personal reviews, as a lot of us are trying to reduce our overconsumption and find products that actually work and hopefully are also affordable or at least budget friendly. So let's get started. First one, I have my Bath & Body Works Peach Bellini Fine Fragrance Mist. I bought this back in like June or July of last year. I love the smell of it, and I know a lot of people love Bath & Body Works, but I promise you when I say this, that I will never buy this again. I just have a hard time with products that are like so sweet and so strong on the outset, and then they just like die down and disappear. And I feel like I had to respray this way too many times for it to be worth my money, even though like I got it on sale. And honestly, the way that I finished using this was as like a light bathroom spray in my guest bathroom. So I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. Sorry guys, don't come for me. All right, next item, I have my Kenzie, I can't remember which eau de parfum this was. This is a Kenzie perfume. It was recommended on a channel that I watched. I should have taken note. It was very inexpensive. I think I got this bottle full price on Amazon for like $55. It smells like alcohol. Now when it dries down, you kind of get like a very light scent. So I did end up finishing this and using it like in the professional setting where I don't want to smell overly fragrant or, you know, sensual. But this ended up being very frustrating for me to hurry and finish up the bottle, and it took forever. So Kenzie eau de parfum or whatever it is, I'm gonna honestly give another 2 out of 10. I would not repurchase. All right, next we have our Burt's Bees Almond and Milk Hand Cream. I wanted to love this because I love their cuticle cream, and I thought for sure the hand cream would be just as good. And it's okay. It's very thick, but it's also very like oily. And I ended up using this only at nighttime, and by itself it wasn't quite enough for my nails beds. I did still have to use it in conjunction with my Burt's Bees cuticle cream. It's okay. I mean, it's better than I would say the Bath & Body Works hand creams, but super greasy and super thick. So I'll give this one a 4 out of 10, but I don't plan to repurchase it unless I'm in dire need and all other hand creams that are my go-to are out of stock. Okay, the next one I think should be a good sign of how much I love it. I literally have 3 empty Trader Joe's hand creams. And I know I've come on many videos, many what's my bags, a couple of my favorites, and feature this, and you guys, this is really that good. I am in the habit now of using hand cream, even just a little bit every time after I wash my hands, just because I spent so many years in healthcare washing my hands 10, 15, 20 times a day, and was not good about moisturizing my hands. And they say our hands are the first part of us to age. And like, I don't think my hands are like super old, but I do think they're the oldest part of me. So I've been trying to use these, and I love it because you can get these for like $5 at Trader Joe's. So usually I'll pick up, you know, 3, 4, 5 at a time. And for the 3 something ounce it is, it's just very worth it. I love this. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I'm not giving it a little bit more is because it could be a little bit better for the nail beds. But it is very close in comparison to L'Occitane. Not quite, but very close. All right, I have my Suntouchable Woe Glow. This is with the 30 broad SPF sunscreen, and this is in the color Sunbeam. I do like this. This is one of my regular go-to products. I use tinted moisturizer versus a foundation. This is the one that I use now on more like casual days, or if I don't have like business meetings. I find that it's great in the wintertime to give me that little bit of a glow that I need when most of our skin gets a little bit dry and doesn't have that good like tone variation. But in the summertime, this product is way too shiny for me. I usually have to pair it with like a matte primer and a matte setting spray to tone down the shine. And so I've really resorted to just using this on like my more casual days or when I'm not trying to, you know, be client facing. But I will still give this an 8 out of 10. It is a good product. It is very moisturizing. It doesn't cause my skin to break out. And I can tell that I am getting a good sun protection from it. So 8 out of 10. All right. We have our Sephora sleeping mask. This was a very inexpensive product. I'm pretty sure I got it for free when I had reused some of my Capital Run shopping rewards. It's okay. It ended up being honestly very frustrating for me because I felt like there was too much in the tube and it really just felt like a liquid Vaseline or liquid petroleum jelly. I ended up squeezing the rest of it out and making a new sleeping mask with it. I won't be buying this again. I did not feel like it gave me enough moisturizing properties for a sleeping mask. So I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 10. Next up is our Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. And this was a pretty good product. I have been enjoying the e.l.f. setting sprays. I alternate between their Matte Magic, their Dewy Mist, this new Dewy Mist one. Currently I have, I don't know, another green one of theirs. And then I do really like their SPF sunscreen setting spray. I like them for the price and affordability. And I just feel like it does help, especially when I go from like my, from adding my tinted moisturizer to my blush and then keeping my little bit of eye makeup in place. You can't beat the price of e.l.f. and I do love that they're a clean brand. I'm gonna go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10. We have another Bath & Body Works product. This is the White Barn Champagne Toast Pocket Back Antibacterial Hand Gel. Again, please don't come for me. I love this. I felt like it was a good hand gel. My only qualm is that these aren't refillable and I just feel like that is so wasteful. So I'm gonna just revert back to using my Purell hand sanitizer because you can just honestly buy the larger bottle, refill it, add a little bit of essential oils and scent your own hand sanitizer. I will say this is good though, and I did appreciate that it didn't dry my hands out and I do love the smells. So I will still give this a 7 out of 10, but I won't be repurchasing because I hate the idea of the waste of these plastic bottles. All right. Another perfume, we have the Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gioia. When I first purchased this, I absolutely loved it. As I was wearing it, I had a hard time because I typically do appreciate perfumes that have a little bit of a heavier scent profile. I have a very neutral pheromone scent, and so I can wear those heavier perfumes without being overwhelming to other people. And so I think for me, this is from a sensory perspective, this was a very different experience. I swore when I finished using it that I wasn't going to buy it again, but then it was on sale again, and so I repurchased it, and now I'm using it more for like a work setting or on days when it's really, really hot and we kind of like sweat or produce a lot of heat, because those lighter scents are perfect for that. So because I'm having to eat my own words because I have another bottle in my bathroom right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10. It does have a nice smell and it is lovely. I think it's like jasmine and lemon and some other stuff. So it's very refreshing, very clean. And I am trying to enjoy some more of those like clean girl scents because I think they are, I'm not gonna say just very feminine, but they are very becoming, and you just like, I just feel like my nature is a little different when I wear these. So 8 out of 10. Next up is our Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb Tiger Lily. I love, love, love this perfume. I am ordering a larger bottle and I just honestly love this. I love most of the Viktor and Rolf scents because they smell heavy, but when they dry down, they're very modest. They're florally, but sweet, but sensual, but not too sensual. And I love the staying power of all the Viktor and Rolf fragrances, where I can literally just spray it in the morning and I don't have to spray it again unless, you know, maybe I'm using like a public restroom or like a quick refresher before I'm heading out and like later in the evening. And so for that, even though they can be a little bit more expensive because I'm not having to constantly respray, it's totally worth the price. I also do love the sprays on both the travel size bottle and the larger size bottle. That's easier to gauge the spray so you're not overspraying it. And then on the travel size ones, these actually do screw off, so I can just refill it with my larger bottles. So I'm not having to buy travel bottles. And I love that. Anytime I'm not having to waste extra packaging, I appreciate that. And I love, like, even though I have some of the smaller bottles, I really do love like just the, I don't know, the size of these travel size bottles. It just feels so like elegant and put together and that kind of air, you know? Clinique My Happy Lily of the Beach. One of the worst perfume purchases I've ever made. It was a blind buy made on a suggestion after I told somebody some of the notes I typically like. And this was just overwhelmingly coconut. I couldn't even get my daughter to take it, and she's been looking for a coconut perfume. And so I had to use it, and I was using it everywhere I could. I was using it as a bathroom spray. I was using it to spray on my bed. I was using it in the morning. I was using it at night, and I finally used this up. I wanted to love this. I do love a lot of the Clinique products. Maybe I need to try some of the other scents, but this one was just not it. Because of the way that the coconut was just so overwhelming, I'm only gonna give this a 3 out of 10. I'll do these two together. I have a Summer Fridays in, I think this was birthday cake. This was part of like my birthday gift from Sephora. And then I have Summer Fridays in Poppy. I know there's a lot of hype around these products. I don't think that all that hype is deserved. I will say, I feel like part of that is dependent on the shades that you get. I found that with my shade, like my brown sugar and my vanilla beige, I do like those better because I feel like the pigments carry better, where like in the Poppy, it was just like way too much and it was very inconsistent. Of course, it is like a corally red color, and in the birthday cake, it's just like pinkish. But these really truly do feel to me just like another product that's kind of like a liquid Vaseline. They don't have great staying power. They slip. As soon as you drink something, you have to put it right back on. And although you do get a good amount of product with these, I'm not with the Summer Fridays. I would much rather pick up a Laneige and use less product and have it last longer and miss out on some of the tint properties. So yeah, Summer Fridays, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I won't repurchase it unless it's in like the vanilla beige or the brown sugar. But again, I only use those for like casual days. All right, Jo Malone, Beach Blossom. I'll tell you, this is my favorite scent I have ever purchased. And I'm pausing to think about that because I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. And there's not very many products I give a 10 out of 10, but I have grown to love Jo Malone. And I'm not saying everything because some of those scents are just like not me, but I love a lot of their seasonal scents that they come out with because I feel like they're all the things I need in a perfume put into one bottle, where a lot of the other Jo Malone fragrances, you do have to layer, and I don't want to carry around 2 or 3 minis to get my scent, or respray 2 or 3 layers to get my scent. I want one. And Beach Blossom is so gorgeous. You know, all these perfumes talk about, oh, it's the perfect, you know, scent for a day at the beach and it's the essence of summer, but they don't have it right. Jo Malone has it right. And off the top of my head, I want to say it's got, it just fell off my head. It does have coconut water in it. It's got lime, and I want to say vetiver or something along those lines. I'll put some of the notes up here, but this is so good. And you can get the travel size like this at Sephora, and you can also get the larger bottle, and I did purchase the larger bottle. The only thing I hate about the Jo Malone trials is that the only way you can refill them is if you have that little syringe that goes in the top. And I just feel like they use a lot of glass in their packaging. I just wish they were refillable. I'd feel a lot better at purchasing it. but this is an amazing scent, and most days this is what I wear, especially right now in the summertime. Next we have our Monsieur Big, I think this is the Idol by Lancome. I had first gotten this as a sample from Sephora, and I was very, very impressed by it. So that when it came out in Christmas time, when they had the 2-pack, you essentially get 2 for the price of like 1.5. So it was a really good deal, and I honestly just barely ran out of this one. And this one I opened back in, I think, January or February. And then I did end up, you know, putting a little contact solution and getting every little bit of it out. I love the brush on this one where, oh, maybe is there still some in here? I don't think so. I love the brush on this one because it works well for my top lashes. I do like to do the back and the fronts. I typically don't put this one on my lower lashes just because I'm cheap and I have like a grocery store one for my lower lashes, but a really, really great product. And I'm so glad that I finally found a go-to mascara that seems to be available year round. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Next are the Laura Mercier. These are the Caviar Stick Eye Colors. Oh. And this one is in the color Au Naturel. I actually bought this sample, I wanna say it came with 3 during the holidays last year, and wanted to see like if I like this better, just because, you know, as I'm aging and we do get that subtle like droop in our eyelids, I found myself not really enjoying the feel of powdered eyeshadows anymore. But I do like to have a little color on my lid, but like a very neutral color with maybe just a little bit of shine. And so I really enjoyed these. I did find out when I broke it down like by gram or by ounce that it was cheaper to buy the 3 minis versus the 1 single one, because the 1 single one was like still $30 something. I tried them out, really have enjoyed them. And I went back and I trialed the same eyeshadow sticks from Ulta and Sephora, and I do like those better, and they're a fraction of the price, where you get one of the large sticks for like $10. I will say the only thing about the sticks is you have to be slow opening with these because sometimes the ends will pop out and you have to put it back in. But these are great. They blend well. They have so many beautiful colors and they stay on all day. You don't get slippage, you don't get drippage. And so I love them. The Laura Mercier one in particular though, because of the price, I'm gonna dock it down a little bit. I'd easily give this a 7. No, I'll say an 8 out of 10. All right, the Clarins lip oil. I had bought this in a couple colors. I have this in the, oh, what is this called? I don't know. This is that one, like the, supposed to be black and something or other. These smell good. These feel amazing on your lips. They don't have a crazy amount of pigment, but I find they pair well with like a lip stain underneath. I think my only complaint about these is that even when I have my stopper still in here, the packaging does leak a little bit. And I thought, okay, maybe that's just the one off. But then my other one, my red one, was doing the same thing. And then I've watched a few reviews on these Clarins lip oils, and apparently that is something that happens quite a bit. So as a person who carries like a lot of leather bags, that did leave me a little apprehensive. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I really do like these. Like I would rate this without the lip oil or without the leaking problem. I would rate this like a 9 out of 10. With the leaking problem, I'd probably say like a 7. So it's up in the air whether or not I'll purchase this again. I'm gonna see, I'm gonna think about it. I just had another travel size of that Victor & Rolf Tiger Balm. I love these little bottles. I wish that dabbers were for me. I just kind of want to keep this just because it's cute. We're almost to the bottom. Here is my Merit lip oil in the color Sangria, and I'm so proud of myself. This is the first one that I finished, and I did have to pull the stopper out, and I ended up using like a tool to get everything out of there. But Sangria is my favorite color, and then when I want like a full like polished lip color, I'll actually pair with my lipstick by Merit, which is L'Avenue, because they are actually like the same color. This is a beautiful kind of like raisiny berry brown. I feel like I can wear it year round, even when I'm at my palest and when I'm at my most tan. The Merit lip oils are hands down my favorite. I would give them a 10 out of 10. You get a lot of product. You don't have to use a lot. Like I can dip it once and cover both top and bottom, and I don't need to reapply. It's very moisturizing, like it says. It's one of those products that I feel actually like soaks into your lips versus just sitting on top of them. And it has pretty modest staying power. So I can, sip on my drink a little bit before I have to kind of refill it. And I love that they have like an annual sale towards the end of the year. So keep an eye out for it, because they'll do like half price on certain shades of like their lipsticks and their lip oils. And so I was able to purchase some of those last year for like $13, $20. And that to me felt like it was a really good deal, even though the products themselves are already a good deal. And I love that they're a clean brand. I've recently started using one of their tinted moisturizers, and I just really love that the products make my skin look and feel better, and I don't have to worry about issues with like breaking out or getting like my lips doing that excessive like chafing or chapping. I have a long-standing Milani lip oil that I had to finish, and I was again trying to get my daughter to take it. She wouldn't take it, so I had to use it. This, I want to like the idea of it. Initially when I got it, it reminded me of the Jisoo lip oil, but this just doesn't have that staying power, and it's not like all that moisturizing. So I would just like slather it on at night just to finish using it. So I'm gonna give this just like a 3 out of 10. It's just very average. If you're like a kid who doesn't have problems with like keeping your lips moisturized and all that kind of stuff, it's fine for teenagers. Last but not least, I finished my first Dior Addict lip glow, and this was in the color Berry. And I ended up actually depotting the rest of it because I like to cut the ends out and I create like a sleeping mask for a new lip product for myself rather than be wasteful. It took me a minute to figure out how to use these and to like these, and I realized they don't blend well with all products. The Dior Lip Addict itself is a good product. This color was a little bit hard for me. This was in the color Blackberry, and it's because the pigment was uneven. So what I ended up doing was I would put the lip balm on, and then I would use like a lip gloss or a lip oil that was a similar color to keep that evenness in the pigment. Lately though, I did start using a lip stain, and that helps as well. But I don't like when I have to use 2 lip products to get the look that I want. So I will purchase the Dior Lip Addict again, and I do actually have a couple other ones in my vanity, but I won't be purchasing dark colors, I think is what the issue is. So good product otherwise though, and I do like it. And of course, like the packaging is fun. So yeah, there's that. I'll give it like cause I'm gonna buy it again, but not in this shade. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for this shade. The other shades I'd give them probably 9 out of 10. But that's everything for my current empties. And this was fun to really kind of keep track of the products again. And this has really been helping me to like write lists down of what my like ongoing lip products are. And when I tell you I have been doing some like lip product research, I'll put a picture here, but I had been going through so many products and trying so many different things. I was really getting frustrated until I started finding products that are working for me. And I'm like, okay, now I just need to find the shade. And then once I get the shade, I'm like, okay, that's it. I don't need to do any more exploration with that brand, or I don't need to do any more exploration in that line. And so it's been really nice to not be like spending and feel like I'm wasting so much money on products like lip products and perfumes and skincare products, because I'm finding like my core essential products. That was really my goal in the beginning, was to figure out what can I use, what can I find that's reasonably priced. I didn't want to have to buy like luxury skincare in order to feel like I'm getting good skincare. And I feel for the most part like I'm really at a good sweet spot where I have my go-to products. Some things are a little higher end, some things are things I can just get at the drugstore. And I'm actually going through and using products and finishing them off, which feels really good, rather than just having a slew of things building up. But thank you guys so much for joining me for this empties video. And I would love to hear your feedback. Have you tried any of these products? Would you rate any of these products differently than I did? Tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.